Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another BIM 360 surgery. It is number 32 this morning, and I'm sort of taking a little due to the extended access program from Autodesk, where you can get a copy of BIM 360 docs free until the end of May. So we're seeing lots of traction and lots of queries around just project setup. So I thought I would take a little revert back to just show you how quickly and easy it is to set up a project in 360. So I'm on my homepage for my hub. I'm going to jump straight in and access the BIM 360 hub for Excitech. So this takes me directly into the project area, and you'll see at the top left we've got a project directory. So I'm going to click the add button and I'm going to add a brand new project in, and it's as simple as just filling in the project profile. So I'm just going to call it project quick start. You can choose a type, so this will categorize it into different types for reporting. So I'm just going to say it's a theme park, and I can say it's a new construction, and the value is, let's say it's 222, and we'll put it in to pounds. We can then assign a contract type, and we can give it a start date of today and an end date of 2024, and we can give it a project number, and then you can also define it into business units for reporting purposes also. You can assign a project image if you wish. So if you've got an image of the project, you can click browse and then simply add in a project logo, and then you can fill in a address. So if we say this was in the United Kingdom, and I'll just put in my home address here, and then we can assign a time zone. Into here, and we can just say that this is working upon Greenwich Mean Time, and it's as simple as that. Fill out the project create, and then you simply click save. So once we've got that done, project's now created, but we need to activate the services. So you can see the list of services that exist. So this will depend on what you have purchased through your BIM 360 account. Here, I'm going to activate the document management module. So you click activate, and what you must first of all look at is whether you want to create this project from an existing project. You can see you can select the drop down, and you can see you can have templates. So if I click project template, or I can actually pick other projects that also exist. So if I want to say copy my BIM 360 surgery, I can just type surgery, and I can find Excitech BIM 360 surgery, and what that will do is it will build the folder structure that exists in that project into my new project. If you don't want to use a template, you can just leave it blank, and it will create a blank project with two areas: project files and plans. But I'm just going to just show you quickly. So we go in and we choose the correct one, so the Excitech BIM 360 surgery, and then what you must do is assign a project administrator. So this is the person that will administer all the controls in. So I'm just going to type myself. I'm going to scroll down, and you'll see that I find myself in the list. And let me scroll. There I am. And then I assign myself a company. So let's say I'm Excitech 360. You'll see that it says my email is valid. It's brought in my profile picture from my Autodesk account, and I simply click save. So what's now doing is activating that service. So that will then administer that service down into the project, so I can add people into it. So it will take a second or two to activate, depending on the speed of internet. You will now see that that project service is now active. You scroll to the bottom and you click finish. So if we click finish, our project is now created. If we do a quick search, you'll see Project Quick Start is now listed. There it is. It's got the profile image. It's got one member, one company. And that is because that's the project administrator that I added. They automatically get added as a member and the company comes through. So we click into it, you will see that I am now a project member. And you will see you have controls over on the right-hand side for the services that are now activated. So I'm a project admin, so I will automatically get access to that service. And I'm also a project admin under document management. And if you're an admin on a project, you also get access to the Insight module. So the Insight module is where we can get insights into the project for reporting and documentation. So I can also click access. What I can also do is I can also remove access for myself. So if I don't want access to a particular service, I can do it there. If we just quickly jump into the document management section, you will see that because we created it from a project, that folder structure will now exist in this project. So you can see that it's basically taking all the folder structure that I had from previous. You can see that it's taking all the structures that all been built. So just to show you that if I didn't do that from a project that already existed, load in the plans area and the project files. Now, what you could do is that if you have the desktop connector installed, so this is a little app that runs alongside BIM 360, and it connects your desktop environment to the BIM 360 environment. You can see that if I click BIM 360 here, it will load the hub. I'm just going to go in here, BIM 360. I select my hub, and then I can choose the project that I wish to access. And what you can do here is you can copy and paste folders and files from your desktop environment direct into BIM 360. So I'm just going to refresh this and my new project should now start to show. So Project Quick Start is here. And you will see that I get access into project files. And you see the same structure. Now, if it was a case that what I could do is if I could go to my desktop, I've got a test folder structure already pre-existing. If we just jump into it, you will see it's got some subfolders and then some files existing. But if we were to just quickly right-click and copy, switch windows, and then just Control-V into this new project, you will see that it starts to transfer the files. And if we jump back to 360, that new folder will shortly start to appear in my new area. So if I just refresh the page, so you can build it by copying a project template. You can manually do it, but just by copying and pasting that folder structure. You'll see test folder structure 1 is now here. It's brought in all the folders and any subsequent files that would exist within them projects. So it's up to you guys how you would do that. So once you get this folder structure, you need to start looking at the project admin side of things. So first thing first would be to add the appropriate team members into your project. So if you click the tab, you can then simply click add. And if I add in Martin, I click select. He's part of the sales team, and I can then assign him a particular role. The role-based as he has to particular projects. So project admin, and you will see that the icons change from an admin to just a member. That means he won't have project admin controls, but he will still be able to access the services. If I click add to the project, Martin will then be added to the project. If we then come back into document management, so once we've got our team of people in, we can then start to join and control the permissions for each of these people in and around the specific folder structure that we have built. So if I go to work in progress and I say that Martin is the engineer, I can these 3 dots and I can go to permissions And I can start to control the permission Martin will have within this particular folder. So in this particular folder for the engineer, I'm going to say that Martin will have the ability to either view and download, upload, view, download and upload, view, download, upload and edit, or full folder control. So if I only want to give Martin access so he can just send me information, I can click add, and then he will only have permissions just to upload only into this folder. So you can go through and build a whole secure network of folder structure access for all the different people in the different projects. If we then look at a few more controls around the document management side of things, so it's going back into project admin, and we look at document management, you will see that it's so there's full traceability. If we click into advanced settings, you can see there's a new control which came last week, whereas we can enable the public link for a project. So this will allow members with view and download permissions to share a link publicly. As a default, it's currently off. So if you want to click that on, it will then activate when we share a file. We also have a control for a folder path. So this means that if we have given someone particular access to a folder within 3 levels or 4 levels down the hierarchical structure, they, as a default, will see that full folder structure. If you tick it off, they will only see the folder. They won't see the actual folder path. So have that on. We have PDF view, and again, this is on as a default. And then there is the ability for a 2-step secure mobile security key. I find this a little bit much, but if you want to enable it, you can enter your security key and then it will activate and look for it every time you wish to access something. We also have the ability to create a review. So you've got your folder, you've got the members, and you've sorted out the permissions. You can then create approval workflows. So I can go and create an approval workflow. So you have the ability to do up to 6-step approvals and then also group approvals. To show you it very quickly, I'm going to go with a 1-step approval process. So I can send a file to someone, they can approve it, and then it will get reviewed. I can click next. And I can just say design approval. You will see that it's a 1-step, so it goes from the initiator to the reviewer, and then it's approved. So I can go, the initiator is going to be me. This means that you can control who will see what review processes. So if I didn't want Martin to ever see this review process, I would leave him unticked. I can then send it for approval. I'm allowing him 3 calendar days to approve it. And then I can go, okay, you've got this particular document and you've got approval labels. So we can say it's approved, rejected, or approved with comments, and you can add in rejected, and you can actually choose the different icons, and you can add in your own where it's approved. And we can use that symbol. So you can add in as many or as little of these as you want. Then you can go, okay, so if the file is approved, I want to copy it to a particular folder. So I could say that I want to do it to the client shared folder. So when the document is approved, it will copy it to that folder. You have a little control if you wish to allow the initiator to change the location. But in this instance, I'm going to keep it very simple. So it's an approval from me to Martin. If approved, it will copy it to the client shared area. I click save. And then that's how you can set up an approval process. There is the ability in the document management to have cloud model upgrades. So this will search the current project for older versions of the file and then allow you to upgrade them. You will see there's nothing eligible in this project. So back to my document management. and we can test that review process. So if I go to test one folder, select this file, we can choose this PDF. We can then submit for review, and there is our newly created process. You'll see it's all set to go, and we simply click submit. So it's initiating a review. Martin will get an email notification, and I can add myself in there if I wish. No. Then we can simply click send. So once that review is gone, it will then appear up in the review tab. You will see that it's open. It's a design approval, which I can click into. And because I'm the project admin, I have the ability to do the review myself. So I can start the review. I can select a document. I can say it is approved. I can add a comment. All okay, and that will then be tracked into the system. I then submit the review. All is okay to issue, and then I can send that out. So you can see the review is now closing. It's approved, and you can see that action is now copied to this file, which I can hyperlink. I can click in, and you'll see that this document has now been moved and copied to this file, and it's got a status set of approved. So that's pretty much it. Within 15 minutes, we've been able to create a new project, set up a folder structure, set new members, create some permissions, initiate a brand new review, and then process it through the system. So that's pretty much me for today. Thank you very much for joining me. I will do another BIM 360 surgery next week. Hope you all have a good weekend and stay safe out there.